Imagine waking up tomorrow morning feeling completely at peace, no stress, no anxiety, no worries about the future. Now think about the reality of our everyday lives. We wake up to a blaring alarm, rush to check our phones, drown in a flood of notifications, and scramble to meet the endless demands of work, family, and society. From the moment we wake up, we are caught in a cycle of craving, dissatisfaction, and struggle, always wanting something more, fearing loss, or feeling restless, even when everything seems fine. But what if I told you there is a way out? A way to break free from this endless cycle of stress and suffering. Over 2,500 years ago, a man named Siddhartha Gautama, later known as the Buddha, went on a journey not just through the world, but through the depths of the human mind. He spent years meditating, questioning, and searching for the ultimate truth about life and suffering. What he discovered became the foundation of Buddhism. All of life involves suffering, dukkha. This suffering has a cause, our attachments, desires, and ignorance. There is an end to suffering, a state of enlightenment and peace known as nirvana, and there is a path to this freedom, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is not just a set of rules or beliefs. It's a way of living, a complete guide to mastering your mind, your actions, and your understanding of the world. And in today's video, we are going to explore this path step by step so that you can begin applying these ancient, life-changing principles in your own daily life. This is not about religion or dogma. It's about understanding how the mind works, why we suffer, and how to live with wisdom and peace. So sit back, take a deep breath, and let's begin the journey. Before we dive into each step, let's take a moment to understand the bigger picture. The Noble Eightfold Path is divided into three main categories. One, wisdom, prajna, seeing reality clearly. This includes right view and right intention, which help us develop the clarity and understanding needed to free ourselves from suffering. Two, ethical conduct, sila, living a moral life. This includes right speech, right action, and right livelihood, which guide us in treating ourselves and others with kindness, honesty, and respect. Three, mental discipline, samadhi, mastering the mind. This includes right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, which train our minds to focus, stay present, and achieve deep states of peace and meditation. Think of these three areas like the legs of a tripod. All three must be developed together to create balance in our lives. Each step of the Eightfold Path builds upon the others, and when practiced sincerely, they lead to a state of liberation, wisdom, and profound inner peace. Now, let's break them down one by one. Wisdom, seeing reality clearly. One, right view, samadhi, seeing the truth. Right view is the foundation of the entire path. It is the ability to see life, suffering, and reality as they truly are, not as we wish them to be. Most of us go through life trapped in illusions. We believe that if we get the perfect job, the perfect partner, or the perfect house, then we'll be happy. But the truth is, everything is impermanent. Money comes and goes. People change. Even our own bodies age and weaken. If we do not see and accept this reality, we suffer when things inevitably change. Right view is about deeply understanding the Four Noble Truths. Suffering is a part of life. Pain, loss, and disappointment are inevitable. Suffering has a cause, our desires, attachments, and ignorance. There is an end to suffering by letting go of attachments and illusions. The way to end suffering is through the Eightfold Path. But this is not just an intellectual understanding, it's a profound shift in perspective. Example, imagine you're watching a movie, completely absorbed in the story. You feel the emotions of the characters, their struggles and joys, but then suddenly the lights come on and you realize it was all just an illusion, just light and sound on a screen. Right view is that moment of awakening. The realization that our suffering comes from clinging to illusions instead of seeing life as it truly is. By developing right view, we stop chasing temporary happiness and start cultivating true peace, a peace that does not depend on external conditions. Two, right intention. Samasankapa, the power of thought, right intention is about training our minds to think in ways that lead to peace rather than suffering. The Buddha emphasized three key intentions: renunciation, letting go of attachments and cravings; goodwill, wishing happiness for all beings; harmlessness, avoiding thoughts of anger or cruelty. Most of the problems in our lives begin in the mind. A small disagreement turns into a grudge. A minor setback becomes a deep frustration. A single insult can echo in our minds for days. But imagine if we could train our thoughts the way we train our bodies. Example, think of the mind like a garden. If you constantly plant seeds of anger, greed, and jealousy, those emotions will grow and take over. But if you plant seeds of compassion, patience, and wisdom, your mind becomes a place of peace. Nice. Right intention is about choosing which seeds to plant. And when we learn to guide our thoughts, we start to transform our entire reality. IEA ethical conduct, Sila. Living a moral life, 3. Right speech, Samavaka, the words we use. Have you ever regretted something you said in anger? A harsh word, a lie, a careless remark? Right speech is the practice of using our words to create harmony, not harm. The Buddha identified 4 types of harmful speech: lying, distorting the truth for personal gain; divisive speech, words that create conflict and break relationships; harsh speech, words spoken with anger, cruelty, or disrespect; idle gossip, spreading rumors or talking mindlessly without purpose. But right speech is not just about avoiding harm, it's about actively speaking with kindness, honesty, and wisdom. Example, imagine a world where people only spoke when their words were true, kind, necessary. Wouldn't that world be a much more peaceful place? Right speech reminds us that words have power. They can heal or destroy. Which will you choose? 4. Right action, Sama Kamanta. Right action is about aligning our behavior with our values. The Buddha taught that ethical living means avoiding 3 main harmful actions: harming living beings. This includes violence, cruelty, and even neglect; stealing, taking what is not freely given; sexual misconduct, engaging in relationships that harm ourselves or others. But right action is not just about what we avoid, it's about what we cultivate. We must actively protect life and show compassion, be generous and respect others' belongings, practice respect and responsibility in relationships. Example, imagine you find a lost wallet filled with cash. The easy choice might be to take the money, but the right choice is to return it. Right action is about choosing integrity, even when no one is watching. 5. Right livelihood, Sama Ajiva, earning a living ethically. What if your job was a source of peace, not stress? Right livelihood means earning a living in a way that does not harm others. The Buddha advised against work that involves violence, e.g., weapons trade, hunting, deceptions, fraud, exploitation; addictive substances, e.g., selling alcohol, drugs. But beyond this, it means finding work that aligns with our values. Example, a person might leave a high-paying but unethical job um, to work in education or healthcare, where their efforts bring real benefit to others, right? Livelihood teaches us that true success is not just about money, it's about meaning, effort, mental discipline, samadhi, mastering the mind, 6. Right effort, samavayama, cultivating goodness. Have you ever tried to break a bad habit only to fall back into it? Right effort is the practice of consciously shaping our minds. The Buddha taught 4 types of effort: preventing unwholesome states, avoiding negative thoughts before they arise, overcoming existing negativity, replacing anger, greed, or fear with peace, cultivating positive states, encouraging love, patience, and joy, sustaining wholesome thoughts, keeping the mind focused on goodness. Example, if a person struggles with anger, they might practice replacing anger with understanding. Over time, their reactions change. Right effort is about constant self improvement, one thought at a time. 7. Right mindfulness, samasati, living in the present. Most of us live in our heads, replaying the past or worrying about the future. Right mindfulness is the practice of fully experiencing the present moment. It involves mindfulness of the body, feeling each breath, each movement, mindfulness of emotions, recognizing feelings without reacting, mindfulness of thoughts, observing thoughts without attachment. Example, eating mindfully, savoring each bite, noticing the flavors, can turn an ordinary meal into a meditative experience. Right mindfulness helps us see reality clearly without distraction. 8. Right concentration, sama samadhi, the power of meditation. What if your mind could be as still as a quiet lake, undisturbed by distractions? Right concentration is about deep meditation and mental focus. Through meditation, we train the mind to let go of distractions, enter deep states of peace, experience profound clarity and insight. Example, imagine trying to look at the moon in a pond. If the water is restless, the moon's reflection is blurry, but if the water is still, the image is crystal clear. The same applies to the mind. With concentration, we can see life, truth, and reality without distortion. The Noble Eightfold Path is not just a philosophy, it's a roadmap to peace, wisdom, and true freedom. Which step resonates with you most? Comment below. If you enjoyed this, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Buddhism and self discovery. Until next time, may you walk the path of wisdom and compassion.